Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today we have a little bit of a different video for you. Today I am going to do an experiment with Lupin flower. Now I know many of you have probably already heard about Lupin flower. It's been around for a long time. Some of you might even use it on a regular basis, but I've always steered away from it because there's been so many mixed opinions that I've heard about it. Some people love it, other people absolutely hate it. So I'm always cautious about trying new things anyway because I don't want to put a lot of money out for something and then find out, oh, I don't like it and I'm never going to use it. But I reached out to a company called Modern Mountain and asked them if I could get a sample of their Lupin flower, and they were very gracious, very kindly sent me a 1-pound bag of their Lupin flower so I can sample it and see if I actually like it. So we're going to try the Lupin flower out with a bread biscuit recipe. So being that this is my first time using Lupin flower, this recipe is not all my own. The original recipe comes from a blogger called Low Carb Delish, and I just kind of tweaked a few things and adapted a few things to what I thought I would like and what I thought would be good. So the one biggest thing that I hear about Lupin flower that seems like everybody agrees on it is that Lupin flower, depending on the brand, can have a very bitter aftertaste. And some people like that, and some people have learned how to mask that aftertaste. But others say that the best way to get rid of that aftertaste is to blend it with another low-carb flour. So I'm going to do two recipes. I'm going to use the same recipe, but in one recipe we're going to do all Lupin flour. In the other recipe we're going to do Lupin flour and coconut flour and see what goes. See if we like either one of them. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Grease or line 6 to 7 muffin cups. If you're using just the Lupin flour, it'll be 6. But if you're using the coconut and Lupin flour mix, it'll be 7. In a small mixing bowl, sift together 25 grams or around 2 tablespoons of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. Add 49 grams or around a half cup of Lupin flour. If you're wanting to make these the coconut Lupin flour mix, then you would use 30 grams or around 5 tablespoons of Lupin flour and 21 grams or around 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum or cognac powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Sift everything together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients, then set it aside for a minute. In a large mixing bowl, combine 123 grams or a little over a half cup of room temperature Greek yogurt or sour cream. I'm using vanilla Greek yogurt because I think a flavored yogurt will help tone down any bitter taste that the Lupin flour might have. Add 1 large room temperature egg. If you're using the Lupin flour coconut flour mix, then you'll need to have 2 eggs. Because we all know that coconut flour soaks up a lot of moisture, so you'll need 2 eggs if you're using the Lupin flour coconut flour blend. Add 27 grams or around 1.5 tablespoons of butter that's been melted and cooled. Stir everything together until everything is fully combined. Add the bowl of your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients. Then stir everything together until a smooth batter forms. Divide the batter evenly between your prepared muffin cups. Again, if you're using just the Lupin flour, it will be 6 biscuits. If you're using the coconut Lupin flour mix, it will be 7 biscuits. Use a butter knife and spread the batter evenly throughout each cup. Make sure you keep the top of the biscuits nice and even. Top each muffin with a 1/4 teaspoon of cold butter. Bake in the preheated oven at 400 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes or until the biscuits are golden. Once the biscuits are done baking, remove them from the oven and allow them to cool in their molds for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're firm. After 15 to 20 minutes, remove the biscuits from their molds. You can serve these immediately or you can place them on a cooling rack and allow them to cool to room temperature. All right, we are back and we have my 2 biscuits. This one is the one made with the Lupin flour. If you see that it's dark on the bottom, that's just because the butter that we put on top just runs over the side, and so you get a really dark bottom from that. This one here is made with the lupin flour and the coconut flour, and again, it still has that dark bottom because of the butter dripping over. They both smell good. Neither one of them has that bitter smell. They both kind of smell like vanilla since I used the vanilla Greek yogurt in there. Here's the scary part. See what it actually tastes like, huh? I'm going to try the one with all lupin flour first. The texture seems pretty good. It seems nice and soft on the outside. It has a little bit of crust like a biscuit's supposed to have. Let's see here. It's actually good. I see what they mean about a little hint of bitterness. I do taste that. I've got sweetener and vanilla flavored yogurt in it to kind of mask it, but I definitely can tell that if I didn't have that in there, it would have a strong bitter taste. But the texture's nice. I mean, definitely if you're going to use it by itself, you're definitely going to want to put some sweetener or flavorings or something to mask that bitter taste. It's not bad. It's not really. Now, let's see how this one with the coconut and lupin flour taste. Smells good. Smells really good because it's got a little bit of coconutty smell to it. Really good texture. Still, like I said, got that little bit of crust that it's supposed to have, that a biscuit's supposed to have. So let's see if this one tastes any better and doesn't have an aftertaste. That's definitely the way to go. Yeah, if you're going to use lupin flour, blending it with another flour is definitely the way to go. I didn't taste any aftertaste with that. A nice moist texture to it. It's really soft. And also, when you blend the coconut flour with lupin flour, you don't taste the coconut taste so strong that some people who use coconut flour, they use coconut flour because they like the texture, but they get thrown off by the coconut taste that, of course, you're going to have using coconut flour. The little hint of bitterness that the lupin flour has mixes with the coconut taste, and they both like nullify each other, so you have a real nice neutral taste to the flour part. It really has a nice texture. I do like that. I like that a lot. I like the blend. The lupin flour by itself, it was okay. It wasn't like horrible. My personal opinion, lupin flour by itself, no. Lupin flour mixed with other flours, yes, has a very nice taste and gives a very nice texture when it is mixed together. So that is my unprofessional opinion. So I hope this helped you a little bit. If you're on the fence like I was about deciding on whether you should or whether you shouldn't try lupin flour, hopefully this gives you an idea. If you're going to use it, mix it. You can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, allow them to cool completely. Then store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 5 days, or in a freezer-safe airtight container in your freezer for up to 1 month. Eat and enjoy. And that's a recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.